Good morning, everyone. It's the weekend. It's Sunday morning, and I'm going to be talking to you today about mastery of momentum. I'm going to show you a momentum setup this week that exhibits the mastery of momentum, and I'm going to be talking about a very successful momentum trader who happens to be my trading partner, and that is Darren. To start with, let's look at the Kiwi from this week. To the right, I have the daily chart, and the inset is the 4-hour of the Kiwi. Around the London Open on Thursday, all of us that are studying with Kelvin now got an email that was a heads-up type of email. Look at the Kiwi. We have momentum setups. He had a 4-hour and an hourly signal on this chart, and he could see that there was going to be good potential for additional entries throughout the day to participate in this short move. Now, as we look at the daily chart, I have a line drawn through Wednesday's daily candle. As momentum traders, price action is what always rules. And you can see this large, impulsive, bearish candle that took us into Thursday with a trading bias to the short. Now, as we look at the 4-hour chart, and this is what it looked like as we came into that London trading session, we had price on this chart moving from a long, mature trend to the long, basically a stage 2 trade, to consolidating and then breaking out to move into stage 4. And as momentum traders, our best trades are going to be trading into the stage of the chart that we're looking to for our signal. And on this 4-hour Kiwi, we were clearly in stage 4, best trade setups, trading into that immediate stage 4 short trend. And that's what Kelvin saw, and that's what many of us were able to do on Thursday. The best trade that was taken by Let's on this, and she entered short at 84.27, which was right here. And as an experienced momentum trader, she understands that price action always rules, and that is what we look to in terms of our trade management. We see day after day that momentum takes out support and resistance levels, even areas where you think they would, be very strong. Momentum pays no heed to that. Momentum breaks them, and momentum shreds average daily trading ranges. So we don't look to levels of preconceived notions of where the trade might end. What we look to is price action, and we let price action tell us when the trade should be closed. And trading with that sort of trade management gave her 100 pip move on that trade. So this is a good example of using what Kelvin has taught us in terms of how to identify the stages of a trend and using momentum strategies to trade into the correct stage. The rest of this video, I'm going to be talking about Darren. Darren is, in my opinion, a world-class trader. He has mastered what Kelvin has taught him. And in the about 15 months that he's been working with Kelvin directly, I have seen him quadruple his trading results. He was making about 10% a month return as a trader 15 months ago, and that's a very respectable trading history to be having consistent profits of 10% a month. But because of what he's learned from Kelvin and the mentorship that he had with him, he has been able to more than quadruple his results. So I'm going to put up a different chart now because in my conversation with Darren, I asked him what he likes to trade and what he would say attributes to his success. The chart I have up now is an hourly chart. because that is Darren's time frame of preference when he is scanning the charts in the morning looking for a chart that's tradable. And it has what he calls a clean setup. So each morning when he's beginning his trading day, he's scanning through the charts, looking at the hourly charts for clean setups. When I spoke to Darren, which was Thursday morning, price was here when we were talking. And so when he came in Thursday morning, price was down here. And he saw that there had been an immediate clear trend, a series of higher highs and higher lows on this hourly chart. And that let him pick this as a chart of attention and focus. After he has zeroed in on some charts that have met this criteria, clean hourly charts, then Darren goes to his higher time frames, looking at weekly, daily, 4-hour, to see how they fit in terms of complementing the hourly setup. And if that looks like that's a go for him, then he goes to his lower time frame charts, 30-minute, the 15-minute, and sees if the price action on those charts shows him something that he can trade. So step 1, he scans his hourly charts. Step 2, he checks his higher time frames. Step 3, he looks at the 30 and the 15 to see where he might see momentum setups for entry. And Darren has become a master of the precision, small time frame, low risk entry that Kelvin introduced years ago when he was affiliated with Coach's Corner, and began to teach the Coach's Corner people how to be trend traders and momentum traders as an alternative to support and resistance trading. Darren uses the small time frames as well as anyone that I've seen, and he attributes a good part of his success to becoming patient. He looks at the very small time frames, 5-minute, 3-minute, 2-minute, 1-minute, looking for precision entry. And he doesn't have that fear that rules so many traders for so long, and that is that he's going to miss it. He doesn't worry about that. He's just patiently waiting for the setup. I can speak definitively about his progress and his success because I'm in a very unusual situation in that Darren and I have been trading partners for about 1.5 years. Even when we were still with the Coach's Corner and both, focusing on what we could learn from Kelvin, we began trading together. And as part of that, we announced our trades to each other. We sent each other information on what we had entered and why, and we did it immediately. As quickly as possible. We sent out an email that said, this is what I entered, here's what I entered at, here's my risk, here's why I entered the trade, and then later on we updated on what had happened with the trade. There's very few traders who are willing to show you every trade they take. I would challenge you really to find people who are willing to do that, but Darren and I did it. And because it was done in email and there was, in effect, a timestamp on the trade, you could see how close to the entry that you got the actual email. Darren and I did this with each and every trade, and I could see where his wins, when his losses, where his break-even trades were. At the beginning, he was at the performance level that I stated earlier, which was around 10% a month. And over the last 6 months, he has averaged 50% a month. It has been amazing to watch his progress and to see day after day, week after week, these charts that have exhibited more and more wins, bigger wins, very, very few losses. I very seldom get any kind of loss from Darren anymore, and if it is, it's most often not the full risk. And he's done this because he has a mentor And because he, as a student, has disciplined himself to trading in ways that allow him to exploit momentum. When I asked him what he attributed his success to, of course he gave a lot of the credit to Calvin, because he's able to work with someone who's really a trader first and foremost, not a trainer. Calvin has learned what works, what doesn't work. He has amended and continues to amend how he enters his trades, the settings that he uses, what we look for, all of those things, and Darren has benefited from them. Darren attributes chart time. He's been trading these slingshots and then moths for over 3 years now. And while he's not a full-time trader, he is a part-time trader because he does have a full-time job. He's able to, probably take 15 or so trades a week. And he has put in lots and lots of chart time and had years of experience to see what works best for him, and to over time weed out, what the chart patterns are that aren't as successful for him. So he has an amazing mentor, and he has had 3 years of working with this. So it takes time for most traders, and it's taken time for Darren to get to the point where he's now averaging 50% a month return as a part-time trader. He also said that, as you work with a mentor and you get more chart time and more experience, inevitably you develop your own nuances. And Darren has a very well-defined style now, exhibited through his emphasis on chart selection using hourly clean charts. One of the other key factors that's contributed to Darren's ongoing improvement has been his patience in waiting for the precise moment of entry. Darren knows how to tell when price is ready to move. He is looking even on the low time frames that he uses, 5 minute, 3 minute, 2 minute, 1 minute. He's got his own preferred ways of entering with these low risk precision entries. And he's looking for price to be in momentum, for price to be trending, for price not to be stuck in a range somewhere that is going to limit price's ability to continue to move in momentum. So he very patiently waits for all the right things to be set up in order, and then he enters. And because of this patience, I see very few of his trades fail. He is a world-class trader in terms of his understanding of momentum and trend, in terms of his performance, and his ongoing commitment to success. I asked him, "Where do you go from here, Darren?" And he said, quote, "The sky's the limit," unquote. None of us have achieved our potential yet. Calvin is in motion. He is learning more. He is teaching us more. And each of us has that opportunity to continue to work with these patterns, the slingshot and the moth, identifying momentum in the way that Calvin teaches it, which is a unique way that uses this part of the chart to identify the momentum, not just looking at the stochastic, but looking for several factors in this part of the chart, and then using price action to our advantage to trade momentum. I want to congratulate Darren. It's just such a privilege to be able to be his trading partner and to have witnessed the amazing progress and success that he has. Congratulations.